Portland, Oregon, the curling capital of now. This is the Evergreen Curling Club Game of the Week. Hello and welcome to another episode of Evergreen Curling Club Game of the Week. My name is Sarah Maywalt, and with me today is Kelsey Schneider. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my email.
That's your email. Good.
Mhm.
Good. Well, there's a lot of R's
There
that you
are.
sometimes put at the end of it.
Yes.
But today our matchup is between Team Petsche versus Team Smoltz. So, Joe, if I messed up your name, I'll buy you a drink. That is my offer to everybody I mess up their name. On Team Petsche, we have Joe Petsche as Skip, Steve Sagi? Steve Sagi as Vice, Traci Holcomb as second, and Kim Smoltz as the lead. On Team Smoltz, the Skip is Jim Smoltz, the Vice is Cory Fiendell, and the second is Jimmy Sattem, and the lead is Patton Echols. So we're just about to start here. Smoltz has the hammer as we go into the first end. And here are the first four rocks of the first end. So Kelsey, give me your curling CV.
Well, I've curled about 2.5 years, and I work at the club. I do ice maintenance. I practically live here, so.
Okay, well, there's a lot of blankets in this room right here, and so I imagine you use them sometimes.
Yes, often. Quite a few red rocks in there, including a biter on the edge over there.
Yeah. By the way, red's Team Smoltz.
Yes.
And yellow's Team Petsche, for those of you keeping score. So as we go to the final four rocks of the first end, Team Smoltz looks in pretty good position here.
There's definitely a draw there. Looks like they're going for their tap back.
What they call the raise.
Mm-hmm.
Now see, I was always confused by that because when you raise a building, you knock it to the ground.
Sure.
So that's I thought raise was a takeout first off, but no.
Well, not everyone calls them raises. Some people call them tap backs, or let's just push this back. Or
I've heard promotion as well.
Promotion.
You know, get them.
This is hanging. Yeah.
Well, no, there's really not much good you can say about that rock.
Nope. Sorry, Steve.
It remains solid. The rock maintains its form and shape for the next end.
Looks like Jim isn't worried about that tap pack. Just wants to cover up the other side.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's a little behind the tee line. So I imagine he doesn't want anybody sitting on it.
Yeah. Statistically speaking, draws are always the better shot. So if you can take away the draw, that's better. This looks a little heavy.
Yeah, it's a little outside. Well, no.
A little deeper than they wanted it.
Yeah, it's a little deeper right on the button. I mean, yeah, I know getting it on the button can be a stinky shot, but still
Yeah.
something impressive about it.
They could probably see about half of that, so they're going to try and come down right on top of it.
Okay, and here's Steve's second rock. I find it very sexist that Team Petsche makes the women sweep. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They should have at least one of the women be a vice, you know?
We'll bring that up with them.
I'm sure that's not what he meant to do,
No.
but
That was a beautiful shot.
it was very good.
Looks like red is still shot, but still good.
But only scoring one at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely a takeout, but it looks pretty dangerous.
High risk, high reward.
It's true. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yep.
And here's Cory's second shot. Oh, it's right on.
Nice.
That was a nice shot. But I guess I wonder if they were hoping to hit a little thinner.
Probably. But
That's
they did call the sweepers off,
Yeah.
so
that was a tough shot.
mm-hmm. Gonna freeze again. I'm sure they wouldn't mind pushing the red back a little bit. Keep it loose.
Oh, they keep it loose. One of the great things about this is in the editing process, I've seen all these shots at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
So don't bet against me. But also, I think I'm gonna make a video of the Team Petsche shuffle or something.
Okay.
Joe's just sort of skating along behind it, very nonchalant. A nonchalansky.
Needs to curl.
Yeah, it's a little outside.
Okay. Not the end of the world.
It makes it a little bit more difficult to knock out how close it is to
Mm-hmm.
the redstone.
Yeah.
Not really more difficult to knock out. More difficult to knock out without knocking out the redstone.
Exactly. But if anybody can do it, it's Jim.
You know, it's funny. Joe was very enthusiastic about having his team on Game of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi, Joe. I know you're watching. Team Smoltz gets a lot of sheet beat time.
Mm-hmm.
No problem no problem hitting it, but
Right. Didn't come over enough.
now all of a sudden Joe's looking pretty good right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to get to that yellow.
Yeah, there's really nothing to tap into it either.
Mm-hmm. So they're probably talking about how they could maybe get 2, but at least steal 1. Hence, they're talking about a guard.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be hard to put a shot within the rings that wouldn't make a double out a lot more likely.
It would be difficult. I think I saw something that could maybe work, but this is definitely the better shot.
Okay, Joe Pesci's last shot. Looks a little outside from there, but...
Sweepers are indicating it's heavy. I think they're telling it to stop.
They're trying to use the ancient Scottish voodoo.
Or maybe the force.
Problem with Scottish voodoo is that you have to be wearing a kilt.
So red's sitting second shot. So they just need to move that one in the forefoot. Or draw to it for one. Are they going for a run back?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay. That's men for you. If they can hit it, they'd rather hit it.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm tend to be that way too, and I think it's my bowling upbringing.
Okay.
There are no draw shots in bowling,
That's true.
or if there is, you've done it wrong. Okay, here's the last shot of the end. That's wide. Well, it didn't end up really bad.
No.
So at the end of one, Team Petsche steals one, and the score is 1-0. And now here's a message from Evergreen Curling Club. Do you like curling? Do you like someone else? Well, bring them to Evergreen Curling Club's Cupid's Red Hot Curling Party. It's on Saturday, February 9th, 2019. It's like a learn to curl with more alcohol and food and hopefully more kissing. Spots fill up quickly, so go to evergreencurling.org to sign up with your special someone today. And now the first 4 rocks of the second end. Trying to get behind the guard, I guess, there, but a little heavy. Two guards for Petsche out front.
It's in, but it's open.
And it's gone. Hope for a double there, but not quite. There's Steve sweeping behind the rock, I think hoping for a little bit of drag. I don't know.
Sometimes it just feels better to get behind it.
And here's the final 4 rocks of the second end. Team Petsche still has the honor, so they will go first here. Fancy pants are so majestic. But look at Thomas. Thomas is usually wearing fancy pants, and now he's wearing khakis. Come on, Thomas. You're a style icon, Thomas. Style icon.
This looks a little heavy.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, maybe.
Anything above the tee is preferable. A little husband-wife rivalry there.
Yeah, I was wondering. Same last name, playing each other. It's probably why they're not on the same team.
Probably.
I don't know, if I had a boyfriend or a husband and they were playing on my same team, I'd probably kill them. So this shot is trying to take out the
guard.
remaining guard.
Yeah, just peel it.
Now, just in case there are people who don't know what peel means, that just basically means a takeout where your own rock leaves as well.
Yeah. And it's fun to watch your sweepers try and keep up with it.
That is true. And watch them fall down and break their neck. It's all fun and games.
Mm-hmm. As long as there's no blood on the ice, you know.
Ice has to be pristine.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably be the one to clean it up. Just scrape it off.
Well, no blood on the ice for Kelsey's sake.
Please.
This is sort of a half guard they're trying to throw here. In the rings, but in front of their counting rock.
Okay.
Not bad.
They definitely could still get that back rock out, but they don't need to, so.
Okay, and here's Cory's second shot. They're looking to come down and sit right on that yellow rock in the back of the forefoot.
Yeah, freeze or just in front of it. Got a curl.
A little heavy. And Team Petsche catches a break there.
At least the rock stayed in. They can still use it.
So you got to give a little love to the men. I mean, this camera leaves nothing to the imagination.
Yeah.
Every comb over, every thinning spot, you find it in that fisheye lens. Sorry, Joe. Know you're watching.
I suspect that's why so many people wear hats.
Well, yeah, definitely. That makes sure. Well, one, it's just warmth, I think.
Baseball hat doesn't keep you that warm.
Way warmer than absolutely nothing.
True.
Spinning the rock around. Getting the feel for the stone. And now, the delivery. Can't even do that with a straight face. Okay, here's Joe's first rock. And I think they're just looking to protect their rock.
A little heavy. And outside. Trying to use the force again on it.
Yeah.
So they want to get it even, if possible, because they don't want there to be a double.
And as we're commentating, whatever we're doing, the DIY bonspiel's going on outside, and apparently you get nifty shirts if you get a double. And I see some Muscle Man shirts.
Mm-hmm. And lady.
Is it Muscle Lady, or is it just like...
There's two. There's a man and a woman.
No, but I mean, is it a muscly lady, or is it just like, bikini lady?
She's fit.
Okay.
Let's say that.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good. She has more than one ab?
Oh, definitely.
I can't tell if I only have one ab or if I have so many abs that you can't see them. Like a retina display.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's Jim Smoltz trying for the double here.
Yeah, or at least a hit and roll. Rolled a little too far.
Yeah.
But that's all right. It was his first rock, right?
That's his first rock. At the very least, they're only counting one man.
Right.
As I have learned in my very short curling career, sometimes just mitigating the damage a little bit is a good thing.
Definitely. There's nothing worse than giving up 5 or 6.
Yeah. Yeah, especially 2 or 3 times.
It's hard to come back from that.
Yeah. Technically, you can score 8 each end.
True.
Okay, we're looking for another guard in the top of the rings. At the top of the rings.
Sweepers like the weight on this one better. There's the guard.
Nice. Well protected. But there's still the draw shot. The draw shot can get in.
Yep, but there's no shot for 2 for red.
Not without some, like, tricky voodoo.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could technically try to run something back in there.
But all they have to run back, all the opportunity they have are yellows, so...
Yeah, you'd have to clear both of them out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the final rock of this second end. Jim Smoltz delivering. Very low to the ground. It's more aerodynamic that way. Less air friction. This looks a little heavy.
Yeah, I think he needed the friction.
Just a hair long. Okay, 4 feet long. But the point is, it's a big hair. And at the end of 2, the score is now 2-0 with Team Petsche stealing 2 in the first 2 ends. 1 in the first 2 ends. And now the first 4 of End 3. Now, I guess that must have been a biter, or else they would have had to put it back.
Right.
I like how he doesn't really sweep it. I don't know why. He just sort of like waves it out.
Sometimes you sweep even though you know it's going out, just to make your player feel better.
Well, I guess you can't see all 4 cameras, but while I was doing it, he just waves it in the air as if he's sweeping.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice shot there. And now for the Vice Rocks. Team Petsche still has the honors, so we will see Steve. Sagi. I want to say Sagi.
I'm sure he'd love that.
He probably wouldn't because it's his name and I'm mispronouncing it.
But that makes him sound like a wise monk or something.
Okay, that's fair enough. Sagi wisdom. Okay, it looks like we're just trying to hit both the red rocks out. No sweeping. It looks like a pretty good shot.
Nice. Great
and
shot.
he kept it in.
It's wide open, though.
Well, it's the only thing there.
Yes.
Now, watching like professional level or Olympic competition, a lot of times when this happens, I'll see the team start playing for a blank.
Mm-hmm.
How often does that happen, in like a club match?
Definitely more often on these competitive Tuesday nights. But not super often.
Yeah, I think that red rock is clear. It's a little hard to tell sometimes because that angle is that angle shows you underneath the rock a little bit, but that should be completely clear. An extreme quarter guard.
It's a little weird because I can see myself on the next sheet.
You look so young back then. No, I'm kidding. And the call here is to draw this right up next to that that red rock.
Kind of a freeze behind.
Is that a thing?
Sure.
Okay. It's a thing.
If your skip calls it, that's a thing.
You have to have a lot of trust in your skip.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're completely wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's too bad you can't have the mic on the front end players because they're talking so much smack about the decisions that are being made.
Oh, absolutely. People would get in trouble if we did that.
Yeah. Yeah, they would.
Here's Cory.
Both of these teams very graceful in their deliveries.
I believe all these curlers have at least 5 years or more experience.
Oh, that's a nice freeze, but not quite shot rock.
But usable.
And so they're talking about whether original recipe or extra tasty crispy is their preferred KFC dinner.
So the danger is that Jim could run that red back onto the yellow. So I think they're just going to guard that. I think.
It's not a lot of ice for that.
Right.
Got a little shake there.
Yeah, shake it out.
And here's Joe's first rock.
You're in the way, Joe.
Oh, he's always in the way.
Yeah,
we're not going to be able to see it until I change cameras. There we go.
And even then, barely.
I mean, it's in play. That's what you can say about it.
Yeah, and it's not bad. I mean, it does make that tap back harder for Jim. Not impossible, though.
Well, the nice thing about any guard out there is when you get out that far away from the center, it can be, the ice conditions could be way different.
Yeah.
So it would seem to me it would make that that guard a little bigger. At
Sure.
least as far as how much it affects play.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally bigger; it's still
Yeah.
the same size.
Yeah.
So Jim Smoltz.
Patton jumps on it.
Trying to keep it out, but well,
I think it moved it enough.
Yep, moved it enough. So now Team Smoltz is sitting 2.
That was definitely a plan B. But they'll
But a
take
good
it.
plan B.
Yeah.
Good plan B. Now, when I was editing, I thought this was an interesting shot. This is an interesting call that they had to make, and I sort of paused it to see what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with my 4 months of curling experience,
Mm-hmm.
and what I was thinking was throwing it about control weight, hitting that front rock, and just trying to graze the other red rock. But that's not exactly what they do here. But I don't know.
So you're talking about hitting the one that's closer to the center.
Right, and sort of like hard enough so that if it just sort of grazes the second shot rock, it will push it out just a little bit. Or if you sort of miss it one way or the other, at least you get one of them out.
Yeah, I think they were worried about jamming on that yellow. There's nothing worse than removing your own rock accidentally.
Yeah, I've done that. Done that a few times. It's kind of painful. I'm not 100% sure what the end goal of this rock was. I think it was to try to draw it behind the 2 red. But
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so here we're getting ready for the last rock. Smoltz is sitting 2. Smoltz has got 2
Yes.
right now. All he has to do is get a bite of the 8 to get 3. They're going to town. All 3 of them. Every millimeter.
It makes the difference.
And well, it's tough to tell from here.
Yeah, it's close.
So we're looking at either 2 or 3 here. And it looks like they're going to measure.
Yeah, if you have to look at it for longer than 30 seconds, you should measure it. And of course, we always have to measure things when we're at the other end. We're at the other. I can't speak today. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
When we're at the other end, where the measuring device does not live, is where we usually have to measure things.
Do you record your voice a lot?
No.
Wait till you hear yourself. Wait till you hear all the slurs. not like bad word slurs, but slurring. That's what I mean. Now, we don't have a good enough shot to actually show you the dial. Okay, it looks like yellow was third shot. So at the end of 3, we have Team Petsche and Team Smoltz tied at 2, with Team Petsche to get the hammer for the first time. And now another message from the Evergreen Curling Club. Hi, curling fans. This is Sarah Maywalt. You may have heard me talking about the rocks we have on Sheet B. Well, those rocks are Caves of Scotland rocks, and they are the best rocks in the world, and we are trying to get a set for every sheet in our club. And we need to raise about 40% or $12,000 of the price. If you'd like to help, you can please go to the link down in the description and, donate whatever you feel like. If you donate $250 or 40% of one rock, we will put up a plaque with the name of your choice in our curling club in appreciation. Now, of course, that name is subject to editing for decorum and potty mouth. So please be kind with that. Within reason, you could put any name you want. You could put it for Elvis Presley. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you should donate to us before you donate to disaster relief, but if you've got a couple extra bucks, why not throw it our way and help us get rocks that will help us compete with the big clubs? And here are the first 4 rocks of N4. I think I missed the first one. That red, we'll figure it out. That is a deadline rock because it makes a pleasant whooshing sound as it flies by.
Could play some Flash Gordon theme song.
Flash, he saved every one of us. I mean, that's a horrible movie, but it was scored by Queen, so you have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the final 4 rocks of the 4 end. Team Petche's got 2 in scoring position, but they're kind of out in the open. I've been working on my diction. They have these tongue twisters. I need a box of biscuits, a box of mixed biscuits, and a biscuit mixer. That's very hard to say.
I believe you.
And I think I said it good, but I'm going to listen to it and I'm going to be like, no, didn't quite do it. Didn't quite do it. And here's Cory's first shot. Have to look down at my cheat sheet because I don't know everybody by their face. Looking for the double here.
Ooh.
And well, at least they got one of them out of there.
Definitely not what they wanted.
But they're still. Team Petsche still sits 2 here.
Yeah, that was a great sweep by Jimmy.
Good job, Jimmy. The poor front ends. We don't show We don't show them sliding. We do show their rocks, though. People are like, "Oh, you got to make it shorter." I can't not show the rocks.
Jimmy's slide is pretty.
Well, that says something because I've seen your slide, and it's pretty good.
Thanks.
When you have a slide like mine, everything looks pretty. My slide is the Newark, New Jersey of slides.
Aw.
Disgusting and ugly. Sorry, Newark. You just have to cope with that.
That's a good guard.
So instead of trying the double, he's going to draw it behind his own rock in the middle.
Yep, the other side got cut off.
Everybody has their own little pre-shot routine.
Some are longer than others.
It's true.
Some are too long.
Ooh, I'm feeling a little. That's like a subtweet, but but you're speaking.
Yeah.
They are sweeping hard. Let's see how far they can drag it.
Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Patton was actually going for a high five there.
But he got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim was not going to take no for an answer there.
Yeah.
You're getting a high five. It's either on your hand or your face. It's going to happen.
I saw that happen in real life, so I was a little worried for Jim.
Oh. But he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had to bring out the concussion tool or whatever. A lot of thinking, but it looks like he's just going to take out the lead guard there. A little wide, but I think he's going to get it.
Yeah. It's a nice thing about peels. You don't have to hit too much of it.
Yeah, but the bad thing about heels. See? Bad thing about peels is if you're wide, there's a much smaller margin for error.
This is true.
Here's Jim Smoltz's first rock. I didn't see the call here.
I didn't either. Sorry.
I mean, it's a very fast game. I don't think anybody's going to hold that against us so quick. Looks like he's just trying to guard his shot rock there.
Yeah, put it back. But a little closer.
Yep, nice guard.
Now they've got their thinking caps on.
Well, at least Cory... No, Cory's thinking for the other team. Oh, my God. Come on, Maywalt. You really... Get in the game. Get in the game, Maywalt. I don't really understand life coaches, but I think it would be really awesome if a life coach would call up and be like, dang it, Maywalt! Get in the game!
Or have somebody like The Rock record that and it be your like alarm to wake up to.
Yeah. Get that lead out of that butt! Here we are.
Ooh.
It's the Petsche wiggle. The Petsche wiggle.
Kim's got some moves.
Okay, here's Joe's first rock. And they're sweeping early. Well, that's not heavy enough for a real good tap back there.
Nope. Better than nothing?
Yeah, it protects their second shot, so...
Mm-hmm.
So, how did you get into curling?
Watching the Olympics.
Okay.
And looking up if there was somewhere in Oregon to do it. Eventually, I got friends to come with me. And I came back. My friends didn't, but that's okay.
Well, it doesn't say that doesn't speak highly of your friends, but we're glad to have you.
They'll come visit me. They just didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah. A lot of bruises.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bruises in this sport. More so for me, I think, than others, but... Here's Jim's last rock. And I think... No, they changed the call.
Yeah, I think they're guarding that tap back.
Well, if it gets over the hog line. No, it looks like it's gonna.
Yeah, Jimmy and Patton were needing some oxygen after this game.
That's not something you can buy at the store, right? No oxygen canisters.
No, but we should get some in our store.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I don't think you're allowed to do it for playdowns, though.
No. One thing that's nice about playing on A or C on the outer edges is that you can actually sit down. Should you need to.
Well, I usually sit down if I'm on the home side on the ledge there.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I'm some sort of, gigantic beast of legend with long legs that are ridiculous. He doesn't do the shake. Oh, no, there he did.
Just a little one.
Little one. So here's the final shot of the fourth end. This is Joe Petsche hopefully
Get out of the way, man.
stealing the steal, but crashed on the guard in front. So that's a steal of one for Smoltz, leaving us at the end of 4 with Petsche 2, Smoltz 3. And now the first 4 rocks of the 5th end. That was a burned stone. So they removed it from play early. Corner guard for Petsche, and a very deep draw for Smoltz. Trying to get behind that guard, but leaving it a little open. And Team Smoltz capitalizes. And now we're just trading. We're trading takeouts, trying to get behind that guard. But the last shot went way wide. Went much wider than they wanted to, at least. What are you laughing at?
Oh, just Traci. Being Traci.
Traci being Traci.
Yep.
And here's Cory's first rock. Now trying to hit and roll, I believe.
A little too far.
Now, how often when a now I know when I try a hit and roll, it's just a grab bag, whether or not it even goes in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, in the competitive league, is that try to get behind one guard? Is that an easy-ish shot, or is that tough for everyone?
It's definitely not a guaranteed shot. I think sometimes it depends on how hard it's thrown, how well the line is called. There's a lot of factors.
Okay. And here's Steve Sagi's first rock. Sagi. By day, he's Steve Sagi. By night, he is Sagi.
Sounds like a character from the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
It would be weird to hear somebody named Steve, though.
Well, yeah.
Maybe we can change it to like Esteban. Give it a little flavor.
Second rock for Cory.
Got the hunter yellow or orange hat to make sure that no one shoots him while he's curling.
I believe it's a beaver's hat.
Oh.
Showing his allegiance.
To the cult of Oregon State.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
Oh. An inadvertent double for Steve. But, not horrible.
No, that rock in the back wasn't doing anything for them.
Steve must have eaten a burrito or something. He's rubbing his stomach. And again, it looks like we're trading takeouts again.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get behind that guard. I should point out, if they're patting their belly, that usually means control weight and not that they have gas.
No, they're not hungry or anything like that.
Well, they may be, but that's not the reason why they're doing it.
Right. And not everyone calls control that way, but they do.
Now, what's the shoulder hit? Is that normal?
I think sometimes. People call that peel, but I don't know. Everyone's calls are different.
And once more to try to get behind that guard, and not quite. So Joe still has 2 shots to go. 1 red rock at the house that's counting.
I think that discussion was, do we keep doing this or do we try and put one somewhere in? If they just keep trading, then they'll only get 1.
Well, assuming that no one actually gets behind that guard that they've been trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some... Patton, you have colorful pants. You need to know that. And I'm impressed.
They practically glow.
Yeah, I know. They're like flames, but of different colors. This is way wide.
Well, it touched it.
Ooh. That is a worst case Ontario right there.
Jim has to take advantage now.
So now when you look at that rock from the end camera, it looks like it would be a little bit open, but that the angles from the hack means that a little bit better covered than you might think.
Right.
So I'm not telling you that. I'm telling, you know, the 5 people that'll be watching this.
Sure.
Just in case somebody from without our club stumbles into this. You know, I think curling commentator is the only way I'm getting to Beijing. And even that's a real long shot. Okay, here's the last shot for Jim. Oh, that is moving.
They can't believe it. But that happens. It might have picked up on something on the ice.
Well, I will say this. There's not a whole lot of hair that it could pick up on. Sorry. Oh, I'm being... that was too mean. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. That's the comedian me. That's the comedian. I just couldn't do it. Sorry, Joe. Sorry. I know you're watching. You have plenty... You have some hair.
Just need full 8 foot here.
They are really going. Oh, that's going to be so close. Ooh.
That hurts.
Yeah, it does. So at the end of 5, we have Petsche at 2, Smoltz at 1, with Smoltz stealing 1 in the 5th end. Yeah. Are you in the Portland area? Do you want to try this crazy sport called curling? Well, Evergreen Curling Club has classes for you. Start with a Learn to Curl class. That's a 2-hour class that shows you the basics of the game and how not to kill yourself playing it. If you want a little bit more in-depth instruction, Well, try Curling 101. That's a 5-week course. Now, we won't guarantee it's going to get you gold at Beijing 2022, but it will help you get ready if you want to try any of our leagues. If you're the type of person that just wants to jump in, we do have novice leagues, but we do recommend that you have a learn to curl behind you before you join. Now, all 3 of these options are open to anyone, and you do not have to be a member. To find out more about that, visit evergreencurling.org. And here is the first 4 rocks of N6. And 1 through there.
Great sweeping, Joe.
He works hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, finally get to take out that rock in the 4-foot.
Ooh, that was close.
Looking for the double, but just missed. And that is out the back. And that brings us to the final 4 rocks of the 6th end. And here we go for another takeout. Cory's first rock. Team Smoltz still has the honors. Right on the nose. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you create all the logos that we have at this point for the
No, I just update them.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Steve's first rock. And I missed the call because I was adjusting the wire for the microphone. Oh, it's a takeout.
Yeah.
Really could have guessed that, to be honest with you.
I don't know if they wanted to roll out.
Probably not, but it's
fine.
okay. Here's Cory with his second shot, and he's trying to go behind the red rock here, I believe, but it looks like he is a bit light.
Freeze isn't bad. What are you going to do, Joe?
So we're getting deeper and deeper into the game, so they're going to need, they're down by 2.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to start taking some chances, I think. And by the way, feel free to correct me if anything I say is wrong, because I know I'm still a neophyte.
Okay.
Still green. But I speak with confidence.
Yeah.
I speak with confidence, although it is completely unwarranted for my situation. What I want to do when this league's on break for the holiday, I'm going to get one of my games. I'm going to do one of my games, and then everybody can see how amazing I am at this sport.
Okay.
Flopping around like a dead porpoise.
I look forward to it.
No, it's good. It's good. Hopefully not smelling as bad as a dead porpoise.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Steve's second shot. looking for the double takeout. And he only picked out the front one.
So I think the long discussion was, did they hit or did they come around? When you're down, you need rocks in play. Otherwise, you can't score more than one.
That's true. But on the other hand, Team Smoltz is a pretty good team.
Mm-hmm.
So if you leave that rock hanging out there, they have 3.
Right.
And here's Jim with his first rock. Looks like he's looking to guard it.
Yeah, put that freeze back.
A little daylight between the two.
Yeah, a little too much.
He's making his front head work very hard for him.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and Patton, we salute you.
And we hope Jim bought you drinks.
And we hope that you washed your shirt before you use it for the next time. He's a little bit more serious this time. You can tell it's not so much, not so much shaking. Got to keep it loose. This one's looking pretty good.
Beauty.
Nice shot. Well, we're definitely sort of screeching towards a blank end.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where you debate. Do we just take the one and give up the hammer, or roll the dice on the next end?
I'd imagine with teams this serious, they're going to want to keep the hammer.
Yeah, probably.
Well, not quite enough. So that was good fortune for Joe.
Yep.
All he has to do is get any part of the house, and he has 2. I always find it weird that the hammer does not switch hands in a blank end.
Right.
It seems like that would be a problem for scoring, but I guess that's what the 5-guard rule is for.
Mm-hmm. In mixed doubles, it does change regardless. That's why you see a lot of big scoring ends in mixed doubles.
Okay, here is the final rock. And all he has to do, any part of the house, and they're golden.
They got it.
Yeah, they were a little worried there for a second, but they really didn't need the they really didn't need Steve to come out. Okay, at the end of 6, we're all tied up. 4-4. Smoltz has the hammer, and we are about to start the 7th end. And so here's the first 4 rocks of the fourth end. Not fourth end. 7th end. Got an extreme corner guard out there for Joe's team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 rocks in the house for Smoltz, and I can't imagine that's what they wanted to do, but
No.
that's pretty fortunate there.
Ooh.
Oh, and another deadline rock.
Kind of seems like everybody's a little tired.
Well, you know, it gives amateurs like me a little hope.
Mm-hmm.
Little hope. So right now, Team Smoltz has 3 rocks in scoring position.
Right. And they're pretty well spread out, so can at least get rid of one of them. I can't speak either.
No, it's
They
okay.
can at least get rid of one of them.
I mean, it looks like he's trying to double out those 2. And unfortunately, he didn't stay in the 8-foot.
Yeah, well, just a little too much.
Quick decision for Jim, and here's Cory's first rock. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't look like there's been a ton of curl on the ice today.
No, not much. We are getting new rocks, which will hopefully curl a whole lot more than these.
And as you probably saw in one of the bumps, you can help us pay for one of those rocks. Please go to the link in the description on the video if you have a couple of bucks for Portland curling.
Any amount helps.
Any amount helps, except if it's only U.S. currency. No crazy weird like Australian dollars. It doesn't help us.
And no Monopoly money.
Absolutely no Monopoly money. But didn't I already say Australian dollars? Australia.
Mm. I think that was supposed to be a dry in, right?
Yeah, but I guess it was a little inside. It's sometimes tough to help. It's sometimes tough to tell.
Yeah.
With the angles and the dead space underneath the
Right.
2 end cams, but
I think it would have been outside.
outside.
Mm-hmm.
You mean they were going to try to draw it further out? Oh well, the way I think
okay.
of it is the curve. There's an inside to the curve and an outside to the curve.
Okay.
So I see what's happening. It's very difficult
Mm-hmm.
to. And here's Cory's. I think this is Cory's second.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 800 ways to describe a shot in curling.
Yeah.
They're working really hard on this one, but I don't think it's going to get. No.
Better than nothing, though. It takes away that draw.
So we're starting to get into the danger zone here for Team Petsche.
Mm-hmm.
Petsche. Team Smoltz is still sitting 3, and there's only 4 rocks left. The problem is when there's the least amount of real options is when you talk about it the most. I think that's sort of the rub. There's not a whole lot that I can see here that they can do, but
yeah. Often it's, well, this is the best of the worst options.
yes. The least worst, the lowest highest point.
Yes.
Okay, he's getting loose. He's getting loose.
He could work in front of a car dealership, you know?
Oh yeah, he could. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Right?
He's got the floppy arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy now, inflatable Joe Pesci. No, not that one. Hey, he's looking to draw in here, but they are sweeping early. I can't see where the rock's going, but I can't imagine that's where he wanted it.
No.
Okay, it looks like Jim's worried about the raise there, the tap back, the promotion.
The moving of one rock with another rock.
But not too far.
Mm-hmm. It's a nudge.
Nudge. Would it be a zhuzh? Am I using that word correctly? I don't know. Just a soft guidance towards the center. Bring it to the center. Good chi in, bad chi out. And here's Jim's first rock. This looks a little wide. Is he going to get it? Yep, just barely.
Ooh.
Well,
It's still okay.
still sitting as second shot there.
Mm-hmm. The draw's still there.
The draw's still there. I think they're taking a look at that front yellow rock as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or the yellow at the top of the 12-foot, I should say. There are
Right.
many rocks, yellow rocks out front.
Unfortunately, Joe's last shot is kind of in the way of that.
I can smell spicy DIY food.
Mm-hmm. Lots of crock pots.
Lots of crock pots. So that's what we're hoping to bring to you next week. The finals of our DIY Bonspiel. And here is Joe's last rock.
He does not look happy with it.
Yeah, it looks... must have been light. But...
A little outside.
yeah, a little outside. But Jim is going to have to make a shot here. At the very least, he's forcing him to make a play, but it is pretty open.
It's a very makeable shot.
Look at Jimmy. Jimmy is down to his shirt sleeves now. And here's the final rock at the 7th end. This is a shot for 3 or 4.
4,
Looks
I
pretty
believe.
good. Well, it depends. But stays in,
Mm-hmm.
and they got 4. So in the 7th end, Team Smoltz busted open with 4. And going into the final end, it's Team Petsche 4, Team Smoltz 8. Here are the first 4 rocks of the last end. The first rock for Smoltz, they just threw it through. The second rock, they just threw it through. So why would they just be throwing the rocks through?
They have a 4-point lead. This is the last end. They want to play a clean last end. Just leave it open.
Okay, they removed the guard accidentally. I think they were just hoping to get inside of it. But now they can, but they didn't. Well, here's the final 4 rocks, and there are 2 rocks in play for Team Petsche. That's Petsche. That's pretty good. One is pretty well buried.
So one interesting thing about curling strategy is that they're up 4, so they actually could let them score 2, and that'd be fine. But the tendency is to want to always score a lot of points.
Yeah, right now, I mean, all they should be doing is trying to remove as many yellow rocks as possible. And
Oh,
wow,
beautiful.
wow, what a long double! I don't know if he even really hoped that would happen, but that was a good shot.
I'm sure they saw it.
But there's one thing, like, that's one of those, oh, that's a best case scenario, but
Sure.
I mean, the only problem with that shot is that they left their own shot out to guard. But with only 5 rocks left, and this is Steve's first rock. With only 5 rocks left, all they have to do is take 2 of them out of play. Oh, that is definitely not what he was looking to do.
Yep. Just get rid of it.
They should have, like, music now. It's the final countdown. Sorry, I apologize to everybody for having to listen to my singing. Here's a takeout, and they clear out their own. Ooh, that was pretty close to the double.
Mm-hmm.
So now Team Petsche has to score every rock they have left. If any of these go too deep or taken out of play for any reason, the game is Smoltz.
Can't be light either.
They have to go in the home, the house. This one looks like it's got the weight, but it's a little wide. I think they were hoping to get behind the guards a little better.
A little heavy too.
Well, it stays in.
Open for a hit though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120
Meanwhile, this is the last game on the ice for this draw, so you have lots of activity going on. It can be a little distracting.
Wait, more activity than when they're playing?
Yeah, between draws, they do some ice maintenance, so that stuff's being set up. The other teams maybe come out to throw a few rocks. People are going in and out the door.
Okay, here's Jim's first, and this might be the last rock of the end of the game, excuse me. And that's it. At the end of the game, they concede. Of course, that's how it works. You win the game, and you don't get to have a recount or anything like that. But they conceded the 8th end, and the final score is 4-8. That was a pretty good try by Team Petsche. They really were hanging on for quite a while, but
they were in it.
That 4-point end. I've seen so many of them against me. But at any rate, thank you so much for sitting down to commentate with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Sorry, this was like the longest one we've had so far, but again, thank you for your time, and I will let you get to the glorious buffet that is outside.
Thank you.
All right. So for Kelsey and myself, thank you so much for watching. Good night and good curling.